Vanessa Woodfield was caught off guard in today's Emmerdale when an unexpected visitor arrived at her front door. The caller was DS Reid, who wanted to question her about her former partner, Dr. Todd. Viewers already know that Todd had been blackmailing Charity Dingle for several months. She had uncovered that Charity, who believed she was acting as a surrogate for her granddaughter Sarah Sugden, was actually carrying Ross Barton's baby. Using this secret as leverage, Todd demanded £100,000 from Charity. Unable to raise the full amount, Charity turned to alcohol in an attempt to cope with the pressure. While Charity was unconscious on the sofa after drinking, Todd sexually assaulted her. Charity wasted no time reporting the attack to the police. However, Reid later informed her that there was not enough evidence to bring charges against Todd. Although Charity questioned whether reporting the assault had been worthwhile, she eventually confessed everything to her husband Mackenzie Boyd, including the blackmail. Reid explained that the sexual assault and blackmail allegations would be handled as separate investigations, but confirmed that both cases remained under active investigation. Vanessa was left shocked after Reid mentioned that a serious accusation had been made against Todd. She found it difficult to reconcile the person she once knew with the individual now being investigated by the police. At first, Vanessa suspected the investigation might be linked to the bullying Jacob Sugden had suffered, but he knew nothing about it. Sarah then suggested that the officer's comments hinted at an allegation of sexual assault. In a surprising twist, Charity defended Todd and urged everyone not to jump to such conclusions, clearly trying to keep the truth hidden. Vanessa immediately sensed that Charity's reaction was unusual and later confronted her about it. During an emotional conversation, Charity finally admitted that she had been raped and revealed that the police investigation was based on her complaint. Now that Vanessa knows the truth, the question remains whether she will take matters into her own hands and seek revenge against Todd. Viewers also know from a flash-forward scene shown earlier this month that the surgeon is destined to suffer a horrifying death. Emmerdale fans suspect Sarina Sugden's real agenda as hidden truth comes to light. It follows the revelation that Kev Barton recognised Sarina as a former police officer. Emmerdale has finally shed light on Sarina Sugden's connection to John Sugden, while Charity Dingle fears she could threaten Victoria's freedom. Sarina unexpectedly arrived in the village last month, leaving both residents and viewers stunned when she revealed she belonged to the famous Sugden family. Audiences first met Sarina after she came across Charity in distress by a lake following the assault carried out by Dr. Todd. Since then, she has repeatedly asked questions about John Sugden, causing growing suspicion among those who knew him. Concerns deepened when Vanessa noticed Sarina reading an article about Nate Robinson's death. Viewers know that Nate was killed by John before his body was dumped in the lake. Although Vanessa did not confront Sarina at the time, she later shared her concerns with Moira Dingle, who agreed that Sarina's behaviour seemed suspicious. Moira decided to contact Robert and tell him what Vanessa had witnessed. As Robert left her house, he bumped into Kev Barton, who had made himself comfortable there. While Robert was frustrated that more people were becoming suspicious of Sarina, Kev suddenly realised where he recognised her from and revealed that she had once served as a police officer. That revelation could spell trouble for Robert, Aaron and Moira, who all played a role in covering up the truth about John Sugden's death. Viewers know that Victoria Sugden killed John in self-defence, after he tried to persuade her to leave everything behind and start a new life with him. The case was eventually ruled a suicide, allowing Victoria to travel to Portugal with her son Harry for a break from the village after the traumatic events. During Wednesday's episode, Sarina questioned Bob Hope about the sale of Butler's farm. Bob explained that the property had been transferred to the Tates without ever being officially placed on the market. Sarina then challenged Robert, who denied any wrongdoing because he feared she might uncover the truth about Victoria. Robert soon turned the conversation back on Sarina, prompting her to explain why John had meant so much to her. She revealed that her mother had once faced serious financial difficulties, so John cashed in his army pension early to help the family. Serena added that she still had some of the money left and hoped to use it for a good cause by giving it to people who had suffered because of John. After Serena suggested giving the money to Tracy, Nate's former wife, Vanessa questioned whether Tracy would be willing to accept such an offer. Aaron, however, remained deeply suspicious after Serena figured out that Victoria had been responsible for John's death. Furious that Robert had risked exposing both Victoria and the rest of them, Aaron stormed away. Moments later, the episode ended with Serena making her way towards Houghton Police Station. Emmerdale hints at Serena's dark side as Robert suffers a terrifying accident and viewers spot a suspicious detail. Warning: the following article contains spoilers from the July 16th episode of Emmerdale, which is available on ITVX and YouTube ahead of its ITV1 broadcast. A dramatic incident unfolded at Emmerdale Farm when Robert Sugden was struck by a runaway trailer. However, the accident has sparked speculation over whether it was a tragic mishap or whether newcomer Serena Sugden intentionally caused it. Since arriving in the village, Serena has remained an intriguing and mysterious figure. She originally claimed she wanted to reconnect with her cousin Robert, but suspicion soon grew after she showed an unusual interest in learning everything she could about John Sugden. She has repeatedly questioned villagers about John's past, particularly the events surrounding Nate Robinson's death. The previous episode finally revealed why Serena had been so determined to uncover the truth. She explained to Robert that John had once given her family the money from his army pension, providing vital support for their struggling farm. Because of his generosity, she found it difficult to believe that he could also have been responsible for such shocking crimes while living in the village. Serena also admitted she still had some of John's money and hoped to put it to good use by giving it to Nate's partner, Tracy Shankly, and their daughter Frankie. She later discussed the idea with Vanessa Woodfield. During the same conversation, Serena disclosed that she had previously worked as a police officer. The revelation immediately worried Robert, who feared she would discover the truth about Victoria Sugden killing John and report it to the authorities. Although Serena eventually realized that Victoria had been responsible for John's death, she promised Robert that she would keep the secret. Even so, doubts about her honesty grew when she was later seen entering a police station, leaving viewers questioning whether she had truly kept her word. The latest episode offered very little explanation for her visit. Instead, Serena told Charity Dingle that she had simply spent the evening meeting a friend for food and drinks, suggesting there had been an innocent reason for being there. Meanwhile, Robert was working in a field when the arrival of a police car distracted him. While his attention was elsewhere, he failed to notice a trailer loaded with hay bales rolling downhill towards him. The trailer crashed into Robert, leaving him injured, but Serena rushed over and helped him. Emmerdale is broadcast on ITV1 every weekday at 8 p.m, with each episode also available to stream from 7 a.m. on ITVX and